Thank you.
Follow up now to an exclusive story you saw right here on the Donlon Report. Former NFL players claim they're being denied money from the league's concussion settlement because of race. Tonight, Rich McHugh has new information on those players now asking the Department of Justice to step in.
Request for inquiry into civil rights violations by the National Football League.
We strongly believe that the civil rights of black class members were violated.
This morning, Dr. Amy Lewis and her husband Ken Jenkins, a former NFL player, delivered this 6-page letter to the Department of Justice.
We have a lot to give to you today.
Asking them to investigate the NFL's billion-dollar concussion settlement.
I mean, this is serious stuff. The system they put together is inherently racist.
Under the terms of the settlement, the NFL has applied race norms, a scoring algorithm that assumes black men begin with lower cognitive skills and have to score much lower than whites to show cognitive decline, making it harder for blacks to qualify for an award.
The problem is it's David and Goliath, and the NFL is Goliath, and they are powerful, and they're smart.
In the letter, signed by over 40 wives of former NFL players, they call out the NFL, the class counsel, Chris Seeger, and the judge presiding over the settlement, Anita Brody.
We are asking the Department of Justice to really look under the hood here.
They write that race norms were applied purposefully and unconstitutionally to discriminate against black players.
The NFL in June came out and said, we're sorry, we're going to end race norming. Why are you now taking this letter to the Department of Justice?
Pearl clutching doesn't cut it with me. It is not good enough just to say, hey, we race normed, we're so sorry, we didn't mean it. Players have been harmed here.
In the letter you say, we further assert that together the NFL legal team and Chris Seeger, sole class counsel, colluded in secret to violate black players' civil rights in order to save the NFL money. That's quite a statement.
Two things happened. Either Chris Seeger is wildly incompetent, or he knew exactly what he was doing and threw black players under the bus to save the NFL money.
But you write, colluded in secret to violate black players' civil rights. What do you mean by that?
He certainly didn't announce it to any players that were not represented. There is an email from Brown Greer that directed doctors to include raw data scores. What that means is that they wouldn't be able to race norm if they didn't have the raw data scores. And it said very clearly that Chris Seeger, together with the NFL attorneys, have directed us to now ask for raw data.
That email from Brown Greer, the firm administering the settlement claims, was sent in November 2017, 4 years before the NFL and Chris Seeger admitted that race norms were, in fact, used. In their letter, the wives are asking for demographic data that the NFL has refused to release, even after 4 U.S. senators have asked how many white player claims were paid and how many black player claims were paid.
We need sunlight. We need transparency. We don't have the power as individuals to shed that light, but certainly the Department of Justice does, and they should. It's time.
Let's get more on this now. Bring in Rich McHugh. He joins us with more on what he's heard from the NFL, which is not much, but you did hear from another party, right, Rich?
That's right. I reached out to the NFL attorneys. They did not respond. But Chris Seeger, in a statement to News Nation, calls the allegations of collusion preposterous and adds that he has been fighting a multi-year slugfest with the NFL on behalf of the players that has resulted in nearly $1 billion in player benefits.
So the other thing, after watching this story, Rich, I'm wondering what exactly it is the players want from the DOJ.
Well, ultimately, they're seeking transparency. They want an independent team to look at this entire process. They feel that they have not been treated equitably in the settlement, and if there has been racial discrimination, which is illegal, they want that to be aired. They want that to be known, and they say there's been ultimately too much secrecy in this whole settlement, in this whole case.
So what's the time frame on this, Rich, as far as the DOJ is concerned? And they could either take this up or not, correct? When might they get an answer?
It's unclear. This is unprecedented. As with the other case that we reported on 2 weeks ago, taking it to the Third Circuit Court, this is unprecedented, and nobody really knows. If they take this case, I imagine that they would hear rather soon.
Okay, so I know there was another player, Amon Gordon, you featured in one of your earlier reports covering this story, and they were trying to take this to a separate court. Where does that stand?
Correct. Amon Gordon has appealed to the Third Circuit. The Third Circuit appeals court has yet to rule on that case. They could rule any day.
And Rich, I guess I'm overall big picturing this thing from when you were here on this report. The NFL has admitted that it was race norming, correct? I mean, that much
Correct.
is established. All right, so I guess the question and the follow-up for someone seeing this is, will they, or is there any indication that they will try to do something to rectify it?
Well, currently they are locked in mediation. The judge has issued a gag order on the entire case. They're in mediation trying to figure out what to do about it. The players say the answer is simple. Everybody that was race normed, just pay them. That hasn't happened.
Yeah, because there were a number of players you featured who had been approved and then ultimately in the end denied, correct?
Correct.
All right. Rich McHugh, thank you very much for your reporting.